Hello everybody, and welcome to This Week in Astrology with your friend Gretchen Hidell, full-time astrologer, life coach, Reiki master, and so much more. And this is our Monday night date. It's August 9th, 2021, and we're here. I'm here talking to you guys live on Instagram and on Facebook, 9 p.m. Eastern, every single Monday night. So if you guys are just joining, welcome. Go ahead and post your astrological sign and where you're viewing from. I'd love to hear where everybody's tuning in from. Welcome everybody who is just joining. Looks like we're just getting fired up and ready for some action. I have a bit of news and things to go over with you tonight. This week astrologically is just slightly less active than the previous weeks, but we still have some stuff. So and I also want to go over do something a little different, where I'd like to go over talking about law of attraction, manifestation, answer any question you guys have, because I did a broadcast a little while ago, and you guys were saying that you'd like to talk more about manifestation and law of attraction and get some, maybe pick my mind a little bit and get some tips and tricks and techniques. Looks like people are joining live. Welcome Hector. Aries from Florida, welcome. Let's see, Wendy. Happy Monday, Wendy. Yes, in Vermont. She is an Aquarius. Jacqueline, Aquarius in Vermont also. Lee from Virgo from Vermont. Almir, Taurus from Vermont. Kristen, Sagittarius from Vermont also. Monica, Leo Moon and Virgo Rising. We're going to talk about actually quite a bit about Virgo and Leo tonight. Welcome everybody who's joining me also live on Instagram. H Creams, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, Capricorn in Vermont, welcome. So if you guys are just joining me live, go ahead and comment below your astrological sign and where you're tuning in from. Sally, welcome. Gemini, North Carolina, there you go. We got some people around that are all across the country. I love that. Melinda, also, she's a Capricorn in Vermont. And Kirsten, Capricorn in Vermont. Yeah, we got a lot of Capricorns on tonight, huh? Capricorns and quite a few Virgos, I think, the Virgo energy out there. We're going to be talking a lot about Virgo tonight and Leo. So how was the the new moon portal, the Lionsgate portal? I went over that last week. Yesterday was the new moon and the Lionsgate, the 8/8. Okay, portal that was open. I'm wondering how everybody was doing with that energy from the new moon. That was quite a powerful new moon, especially lining up with the 8/8 portal and all the other things that I went over last week. But how did you guys do? Did you do any good manifestation stuff? And how is that going for you? I'd love to hear your questions tonight about manifestation. Hey, Lindsay, welcome. Vermont, Aquarius in Vermont. Andrea, Scorpio, Vermont. Melinda, Capricorn. Yeah, she said shout out to fellow Capricorns. Yeah, Wendy, you said you had a hard time. She said, I found myself in the lion's cage on Saturday. Yikes. Hopefully that lion wasn't hungry. Rita, Virgo in Colorado. Virginia, we have Libra, Cancer, Leo from New Jersey. Hey, Virginia, welcome. I'm going to just make sure my phone is turned off here as far as the volume goes. Sometimes I get calls or texts and something when I'm on live. So thank you everybody for joining. So I'm just going to jump in and get started here. Today is wonky. I'm not going to just jump right in the deep end. Today's energy is quite a bit is a bit wonky. We had Mercury forming a quincunx. Sorry, was it Mercury? Yes, Mercury forming a quincunx with Pluto. That's today on Monday the 9th, and then we have Venus forming an opposition with Neptune tonight. 8:20 p.m. Eastern time, and that's this evening, is the peak of it. So we're still very much in the heart of that right now at 9 o'clock in the evening on Monday. But Venus forming an opposition with Neptune is very weird feeling. Okay, Venus is of course, how we love, and also our beauty, and also how we feel about our finances. Whoops, I almost lost my cell phone there. And then Neptune is all about lies, illusions, delusions, and, you know, can be very we call it nebulous Neptune. I'm just trying to fix my cell phone. And so we have those two opposing each other. Neptune's in Pisces, Neptune retrograde. I should also say that Neptune's retrograde in Pisces is opposing Venus in Virgo, which is how we love. So Virgo, Pisces, you guys are in the heart of it, or in the mix of it. Wendy said I look very pretty in white. Thank you, Wendy. Hector said your mind is playing tricks on you. I'll tell you that's kind of what this deal is. It's very this Venus opposing Neptune thing is lies, illusions, delusions. It's addiction. We're just going to say that. It's escapism, wanting to not like just, I don't know, can't even deal with this. Escapism can also take on unhealthy behaviors like drugs, alcohol, too much food, too much sex, too much this, too much that. You know, I mean, anything that you're using as a form of escapism, too much TV, too much social media, things like that. Can all be this opposition, but today's quite wonky. We might have felt a little bit of it yesterday, even though yesterday was the Lionsgate portal and yesterday was the new moon, and yay us, and that's all fun. But we could have even been feeling this yesterday. We call it nebulous Neptune for a reason, and Neptune sometimes makes us feel a little wonky. It's certainly not feeling grounded. I mean, that's usually Neptune, you're floating around like, oh, where am I? What time is it? What day is it? You know, Neptune has a way of being weird with time. We sometimes feel a little sleepy, a little tired, a little run down with Neptune transit. So anyway, the height of that's today. Like I said, tonight at 8:20 p.m. Eastern time. Earlier than that if you're out on the West Coast. But today might have been that one of those Mondays, you know, like that kind of feeling. Certainly this is not a great time to have a talk or communication with a loved one. Where are we going? Let's make a plan. You know, save that for another day, because tonight's not the time. Oh gosh, Monica, process an 8-year-old rude incident with an acquaintance. Your brother, oh, you're manifesting. Oh, okay. Yep, there you go. Lionsgate portal. That was some of that stuff going on for sure. Lee said, felt that deeply today. Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just weird. Iris said, took a nap earlier. See, yeah, I mean, Monica said, sleepy. Heather, hey, Heather. Saying hi to Rosalie. Lisa said, what the heck is going on? Literally everything is chaos for weeks now. Savannah, I've been noticing a lot of people being called out on lies over the past few days. It's been interesting. Yeah, so I mean, let's do a quick review about that. Neptune is retrograde. So Neptune retrograde is actually one of my favorite retrogrades, because Neptune, when it's retrograde, often reveals the truth. And if you want to know the truth about something, this is the time to know the truth. Especially when it comes to a love partner, and especially when it comes to money. But it could be anything, you know, whenever Neptune retrogrades, it gets activated, which it's being activated by the opposition. So remember, when two planets are opposing each other, it means that they're on the opposite side. And so that's basically in, you know, Venus and Virgo's opposing that Neptunian Piscean. See, I can't even talk about it. I just gets too confusing. And really, Neptune is the planet of confusion. Neptune, you know, I always say when Neptune's activated, no forward progress, no action until you have clarity. And that's what Neptune's lacking, is clarity. Though Neptune retrograde can definitely give us a bit of more clarity, because often we feel really, I don't know, there can be truths that are revealed. I had a very profound revealing of a truth. I've talked about this before with people, but one time in my life when I was with somebody, it was a very long-term live-in partnership, domestic partnership relationship, and I found out he was cheating, and it was right on Neptune went retrograde, and it was like, and it was like revealed to me. And so this is that time. Now, you might not say that that's a good thing, but I actually would rather know the truth than not. So Neptune retrograde is very good at revealing things. So we're getting a lot of things revealed to us. Doreen said, is this why I feel so scattered trying to make decisions? Exactly. Man, the whole family's on here. Kristen, Katie, Rosalie, I don't know. All these people are, I think, somehow related. Bummer. So sorry, Wendy said. Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not upset about it now. It worked out to be the best scenario for me. But it was definitely something that when we look at Neptune retrograde, that's what Neptune retrograde can do. So whenever you see me typing or posting about Neptune retrograde, just know that that can be a revealer of truth, because Neptune, when it goes direct and when it goes in normal function, is very cloudy and foggy and fuzzy. And so, we're gaining a little bit of clarity here with Neptune being retrograde. But yeah, I mean, it's something that it might be a truth that, maybe, ouch, we don't want to know, but it's better, you're better off knowing, I think, is the scenario. So that's today. And here's the thing, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week, the 9th, the 10th, and 11th, we're going to be talking all about Mercury. So the thing about this is Mercury is super activated right now. It's just that it's hard to say, but it's not really, it's almost like we don't have the total clarity just yet to be able to process some of this. So we might be like talking and processing things and, I don't know, hashing things out with people, but it's like not going anywhere. It's almost like we kind of can't make real plans just yet. So the beginning part of the week is it is going to be a little bit like this. So you want to hang on a little bit because, and by the way, let's talk about the lunar cycles. So today, at 10:56 a.m. Eastern Time, Monday, the moon went into Virgo, so it'll be in Virgo Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Then on Wednesday at 4:08 p.m. Eastern Time, it will switch into Libra. Libra Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Friday the 13th, everybody. The moon will switch Friday evening at 8 p.m. into Scorpio. Scorpio will be Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and then Sunday at 11:12 p.m. it'll go into Sagittarius. So we have today we have Virgo, we have Libra, we have Scorpio, and we have Sagittarius all being activated this week with the moon. So if you guys are any of those signs, just know the moon will be in your sign on those days, and you will be able to really utilize those days, because that'll be like a sort of a power day for you. If your moon is there, if your sun is in those signs, so it's good to know what your moon sign is. It's good to know what your sun sign is, obviously, like when your birthday is. Or if any of those are opposing. So, for example, I'm a Aries. Libra is basically going to be activated this week, so I know the moon in Libra is going to oppose my sun, and that's going to be for me like almost like a full moon. So it's kind of an interesting thing. Lisa said, oh boy, it feels so spot on. What is impacting things related to house and home? Yeah, I mean, we have it's a lot of layers right now, girl. Lot of layers. Okay, so I said Lisa again. Liza, what is wrong with me? Doreen, you hit it spot on what I'm going through. Lauren, 4th house of home and impacts home and family. It does. Savannah, Virgo moon. Lauren said Aries moon. Yeah, so you guys know your moon signs. That's awesome. I love it. Hey, everybody that's joining on Instagram, by the way, welcome. If you're just joining, go ahead and post your astrological sign. I love hearing what your sign is. But anyway, so the next day on Tuesday, Mercury in it's going to be in the very last little section there of Leo. Mercury in Leo is going to oppose Jupiter in retrograde in Aquarius. So this is tomorrow night at 9:20 p.m. So tonight, Venus opposed Neptune 8:20 p.m. Tomorrow 9:20 p.m. we have an opposition between Mercury and Jupiter. So we have two oppositions we're starting the week off with. Not a great start. So Mercury is in Leo, Aquarius, so if you're one of those two signs, you will be at ground zero and you'll feel it, but we will all feel it collectively. And this can be for sure a miscommunication, but kind of like on an epic level, because Jupiter is retrograde and Jupiter makes everything bigger. So the problem here is putting our foot in our mouth, over committing, over talking about something, saying something that's, factually maybe incorrect, or being like saying a little faux pas that's embarrassing, or calling somebody by the wrong name like I just did on the broadcast. I'm not immune to these cycles, trust me. And so it's one of those types of things when Mercury is going to be doing that opposition. It's going to be something that is, that communication is a little bit messed up. So we might experience the beginning of this week almost like as if it's a Mercury retrograde. People will be like, what is going on here? And that's why. This is not a great time to sign contracts with this Neptune and then the Jupiter thing tomorrow. It's not the first 2 days this week anyway are not a good time to sign contracts. This can also be challenging in pertaining to school, colleges, or even legal endeavors. So you want to watch that if you're, just the first 2 days this week, and it'll clear up. But yeah, Wendy said, shoot, I'm going to be around a lot of people, and you're the queen of foot in your mouth. Jeremy, oh, hi, welcome. Sagittarius Sun, Capricorn Moon, welcome. Devin, Libra Moon, Scorpio Sun. Oh, there you go. So Libra Moon, you're going to be feeling this. You'll be feeling the Libra Moon is going to be really almost the end of this week for you, and then goes into Scorpio. So you'll be Devin, you'll be really feeling that lunar energy of this week. So because it goes Libra and then Scorpio. So anyway, so those are the first 2 days. Now, Mercury, remember last week I was telling you guys how Mercury was getting to be speedy and was getting ahead of the sun? Well, basically what the deal is Mercury is now moving really pretty quickly and is moving out of Leo already. I mean, it's like it's getting to be a speedy Mercury. So Mercury is moving into the astrological sign of Virgo on Wednesday the 11th at 5:57 p.m. Eastern time, so 2:57 if you're living out on the West Coast. And so Mercury is moving faster now. So it's interesting because we have the Sun in Leo, and then Mercury's now going to be in Virgo, Mars is in Virgo, and Venus is going to be in Virgo until next Monday, when Venus will be moving into Libra already. So it's like kind of crazy because the planets are all moving pretty quickly in front of the sun. And so we're already getting a jump on Virgo season in some way, shape, or form. So basically what the deal is Mercury is in Virgo starting tomorrow from the 11th all the way until August 30th, and that's going to be on Monday, August 30th, and then Mercury will move into Libra. So roughly, let's see, 2.5 weeks from now, Mercury will be in Virgo. So it's something that that basically now we're going to be thinking about mental processes, right, are going to be all Virgo. Okay, so where is Virgo in your astrological chart, meaning what house is Virgo, and you will know what your mental processes are going to be sort of thinking about or knowing about. Like, for example, if Virgo is in your 4th house of home and family, then you would be thinking about home and family matters. If your 10th house is Virgo, that would be basically career. So each little area is basically the deal. But in general, if you don't know your chart, Virgo is definitely an earth sign, and it is a mutable sign, so it's more go with the flow. However, remember, picky Virgo can be very focused on all those little details and all the little fine print and all of the organizational stuff and Marie Kondo and, kind of getting organized and all those things. Devin said her 7th house, is Virgo. So Virgo for you is going to be your area of marriage. And then Wendy is Virgo is fifth house, and that's your house of love. By the way, in astrology, there are two separate houses, one for love and one for marriage. They're actually separated because back when astrology first was formulated, it's pretty old. We don't know exactly for sure how old it is, but it's pretty darn old. That Virgo, that love and marriage were actually separate at that time. You didn't necessarily marry somebody you were totally in love with. So that was a thing. Let's just say that. Let's see here. Monica said first house, so that's your house of self. And so Virgo is all about your own self and self-improvement and self-confidence and all those things. Wendy said she's ready for some loving, except for you got to not be too picky in love, Wendy. You know, it's kind of an interesting dichotomy there. Savannah said Virgo in the 12th house. Okay, so that's, I don't like Virgo. I don't like when planets are in my 12th house personally, because I feel like that's a time where you can find, it's a more inward time. And our society is more geared towards being outward and extroverted and all of those things. So it is something that we have to kind of keep in mind. Savannah said, me neither. She doesn't like it either. Yeah, it's just a time where it's behind the scenes. You know, things are behind the scenes. Later that day, on Wednesday, so Mercury's going to move into Virgo on Wednesday night at 5:57 p.m., almost 6 p.m. Then Venus is going to form a trine with Pluto. So Venus, again, was opposed by Neptune. Now it's going to form a trine with Pluto. And even on Saturday, it's going to form a quincunx with Jupiter. What does that mean? It means our love life is going to be kind of up and down this week. It's a little bit of a roller coaster ride this week with our love and relationship department, especially if you are a Virgo or you have a lot of Virgo planets, because Venus is in Virgo right now. And so Venus is going to form a trine in Virgo with Pluto in Capricorn. So all of a sudden, where today we can't really name our feelings, we're kind of nebulous Neptune, we're confused, we're not sure. All of a sudden we get really deep and intense on Wednesday, like real deep and real intense. It's just like, I was splish splashing in the swimming pool and suddenly I dove into the deep end. So we got to watch that intensity, because yes, a trine is positive. Remember what I always say about these planets. The trines are positive. It means both are earth sign elements. So Virgo's an earth sign, Capricorn's an earth sign. And even if you're a Taurus, you will feel this for sure. Earth signs are going to be activated hardcore. But remember, Pluto, even when Pluto is doing its thing and it's highlighted and positively aspected, it can still be just too intense. It can be jealous, it can be obsessive, it can be intense in some way. So we want to watch the little slash big transit. Now, this is a time for transformation in love. Sometimes when we get intense, stuff happens. We push it and it gets, we just don't want to make it or break it, give our partner ultimatums, because Pluto can be very black and white. It can be very like there's no gray area. You either all in or all out. I'm done with this, you know, and it's like it gets real intense about that. So you want to watch that tendency on Wednesday, because we could get too intense. Okay, and that happens at 6:46 p.m. Again, we feel it. We're kind of feeling it now. We're definitely going to feel it tomorrow, Tuesday, and then Wednesday, that's the peak of it, 6:46 p.m. So 3:46 if you're on the West Coast on Wednesday. And then Mercury's active, and we want to talk about it and talk about it and talk about it. So see how that's adding up to being like, this could be too much energy. So look, if you're getting intense and you're feeling the feeling and you're getting like, call a trusted friend, call a counselor, get maybe a tarot card reading, do some journaling, do some kind of thing where you can sort of pull apart some of the energy, because that's basically something that we could just get too focused on things and then it gets too intense. Jeremy said Pluto in the 12th house. Oh my gosh. Virgo in the 12th house, Pluto in the 12th house. Yeah, I mean, so you are a very 12th house oriented person. I will just say this, Jeremy, and I don't know if anybody's ever told you this, but that can mean that you and I'm sorry to say I'm not saying it with a big smile on my face because it's not fun stuff, but Jeremy, that can mean that you had a past life where you actually died pretty violently, like, and you didn't mention what sign that was in, but that can be definitely a murder situation, Jeremy, in a past life, not this life, past life. And that can cause, well, I mean, it depends on how you were killed, basically, but that often people with Pluto in the 12th house, what I've seen is people will even sometimes have a birthmark or something on their body, like, and the theory is birthmarks are actually a marker of kind of where you died in a past life. So, you know, if you have like a birthmark on your chest or something, maybe somebody stabbed you in the chest in a past lifetime. So, Jeremy, I'd be interested to know if you have any kind of a birthmark or something. Savannah said, me too, Virgo 29 degrees. Wow. Savannah said, Pluto is kicking your butt right now. yeah, it is. It's very, very intense. So basically that's Wednesday. Now, things kind of are sort of chill. I'm saying sort of chill. Friday the 13th, Saturday the 14th, and Sunday the 15th, there's 3 quincunxes. I'm not going to break them all down except for Friday, because Friday is the bigger out of the 3. What are quincunxes? What does that mean? It's also called inconjunct. It basically means the planets have absolutely nothing in common. The planets that are aspect, they have nothing in common. They're not the same element. They're not the same modality. So, for example, Friday the 13th, Mars is in Virgo, and it's quincunx Saturn in Aquarius. Virgo and Aquarius, nothing in common. So they are both different elements. So Virgo is an earth, and then Aquarius is air. Those are not in common. And then they're different modalities, meaning Virgo is mutable, and then Aquarius is fixed. Nothing in common. So whenever you have 2 planets like this that are not working well together, so Mars and Saturn are not working well together, and then on Saturday, Venus and Jupiter not working well together, and then on Sunday, Sun and Neptune not working well together, what does that mean? Savannah said quincunxes are so uncomfortable. They are until you kind of realize what the deal is with them. Quincunx, even though that sounds like a crazy word and nobody uses that in the English language, even astrologers don't really call it that anymore. They usually call it inconjunct, but I'm old school, so I use the word that they used to use. It means compartmentalization. That's all it means, is that we have compartmentalization. So if you think about our actions, Mars is our actions. This is Friday. Mars is our how we act, right? It's our motivation, our drive, our ambition. We're very Virgo right now with our motivation, our drive, and ambition, but our goals are Aquarius. Saturn is Aquarius. Our goals are Aquarius, like big picture, help humanity, where Mars is small details, looking at the fine print, looking at all the, micromanagement of things. When you have these 2 planets working seemingly at odds, it means that they're compartmentalized. So, for example, how we act, we might in one area of life be very detail oriented right now, and then another total, we want to look at the big picture and what we want to be when we grow up, and how do we help humanity, and all those things. In other words, they're compartmentalized. They're just totally on 2 different pages. This can be helpful, believe it or not, in a healthy way. In a healthy way, let's say with if you have problems in your love life, but you're kicking butt at work. That's compartmentalization, where you can go, okay, love life, I'm putting you on the shelf right now, and I'm focusing on where I'm winning, not on where I'm not winning. I don't want to say losing, but you know what I mean. So when these 2 are totally on 2 different pages, they basically, you think of them as being compartmentalized. One is in one doing its thing over here, and the other one's doing. Now, 2, 4, 6. There's 6 planets that are quincunx right now. I mean, like, you know, we have Mars and Saturn, we have Venus and Venus is in Virgo, and then Jupiter's in Aquarius, and then we have the Sun in Leo, and then Neptune in Pisces. That's a lot of different planets being compartmentalized. So at the end of the week, we feel a little choppy. There's going to be a choppiness to the end of the week. I'm kind of going big picture with it. I'm not going to break it all down because it's too much. But really what the deal is that we're going to feel choppy. So where one area of life is flowing, the other area of life might not be flowing, and just be okay with that. I would just say go with where you feel like you're winning. Lean into the win and then lean away from, because that thing right now is not meant to work out. So whatever that thing is for you, leave it on the shelf for now. Just don't try to do all these compartments, because it's going to be a scattering of energy and it'll be uncomfortable. So if that makes sense, just go with where the energy is more flowing and free flowing in your personal life. Again, that's too many planets and too many signs and all that to break it down. So I would just say lean into the compartmentalization and like leave one thing. Not everything has to be level 10. You know, that's how we are in the US anyway. Everything's going to be level 10. Something can just not work out and just go, okay, doop, and we're going to just shelve it for now. Now, I want to talk about, let's get into law of attraction, because I want to make sure we have enough time. Folks, one night I was talking and folks were saying to me, yes, let's talk more about law of attraction. Let's talk more about manifestation. Let's do that. And I hadn't had a time to come back to it because we've had a lot of busyness in the astrology world and Lionsgate and all these different things that have been happening. We just had one of the biggest new moons. On Sunday was probably one of the biggest new moons of the year, of all of 2021. Now we get the second chance new moon on Sunday, and that's going to be on August 15th. We have the second chance new moon. It's going to be in Scorpio, so I don't know if any Scorpios are out there, but it's going to be in Scorpio, 23 degrees Scorpio at 11:20 a.m. Eastern time, so earlier than that if you're out on the West Coast, okay, 3 hours earlier. And so basically it's called the first quarter lunar cycle. And I nicknamed it personally the second chance new moon. Okay, so did you guys do your new moon manifestation list? So if you guys have any questions about manifestation, law of attraction, now is the time, tonight's the time. If you're looking, if you're having trouble manifesting something, if you've been focusing, like let's say, because I'm telling you, I have a little fly in here. It's getting my nerves. I've been I should manifest that thing to go away. I've been doing manifestation before I even knew what it was called. I didn't even have that word. Manifestation was not even in my language. But I've been doing that since I was really young. And I've always gotten things that I've wanted. I've always gotten like different, like I've manifested cars. I manifested my house. I've manifested Apple products. I've manifested money. I've manifested all different kinds of things. And so it's one of those things when you want to manifest something, when you're looking at doing law of attraction. If you guys, I don't know if you guys have nobody's commenting yet, so I would love to hear what your comments are. Do you feel that you manifest things all the time? Manifestation for you is easy. B, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe you don't always believe in it totally, you're not really sure. And then C, you hardly ever manifest anything, you don't really believe in it or whatever. So A, B, or C, if you guys want to comment if you have trouble, or if you want to know more about it. Yes, Wendy said, pretend that you already have it in your life. Yes, feel rich if you want more money. Yes, exactly, Wendy. So B, Kristen said B, Kathleen said B, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Devin said between A and B, very good. Liza, sometimes it's easy and sometimes the opposite, just like magic. Laugh out loud. Almir B, Lindsay B, Lauren B. Oh, a lot of B's. Okay. Yeah, awesome. So there's certain things that you can manifest, okay, and certain things that you have just like a blockage against. So here's the interesting thing. Let's do this. Let's do the math problem the opposite way. You know, you guys know, if you know me personally, you know I always say this: 1 + 1 = 2. And then how do you double check your math problem? You go 2 - 1 is 1, right? You got to go forward and backwards. Okay, so it's interesting because oftentimes with manifestation, we're manifesting sometimes negative things. So sometimes, let's say you're dating the same partner, different name, different face, but it's always the same story, right? I was just talking to somebody that said that they always date man babies or man childs or whatever, men that haven't grown up. Men have told me they date women maybe that are helpless, or fixer-uppers, or whatever, or if you whatever. You always get the same problem. Each car you have the same problem. You have the same problem in every single boss or every single work scenario. That's a manifestation too. It's just a negative manifestation. It might be a manifestation that this always happens to me, whenever we say these things. Well, why does that always happen to you? And specifically, just you, okay? There's millions and millions of scenarios that it could, maybe wouldn't happen or could, but it just happens to always happen to you. That's a negative manifestation. That's a manifestation, though. And so something in your vibrational energy is pulling whatever that thing is in. And we're not victim blaming here. We're not doing toxic positivity. It's just literally, you got to double check that, because why is it always coming to you, right? So it is interesting when we talk about manifestation. For some reason, we're more willing to believe in that type of manifestation than we are of a positive thing. Devin said, because we don't change the narrative in our mind. Exactly, Devin. That is exactly right. So there's something in our energy. When I say vibrational energy, it means that there's a thought that we have in our head that we believe that is a thing, that for some reason in our mind's eye, it's manifesting, and it's basically, that's what the deal is. Katrina, I wrote my list and lost it while you were hiking. That's awesome, though. Queen of Dating, Lauren said, Queen of Dating, the same face, different names. You're changing this presently. Very good, very good. Dysfunction junction for men in my life, Wendy said. Let's see here. I can't see this whole thing. Kate said, I want to use law of attraction and positive manifestation, but you always forget like in 2 minutes. Lauren said, you're not alone, which is why you're not dating and you're trying to break the patterns. Yes, exactly. Hey, Andrea, I smudged and then lit intention candles Sunday, starting pulling good things almost immediately. Very good, very, very good. Like they were already there, just waiting for your energy to be raised. Exactly. So basically, when you're in the middle of doing something, let's start with that. A couple people said they had bumps in the road, right? Dating the same person, maybe having a crappy day, or having a bad energy day, let's say, and bad things were happening and whatever. One of the things that you can do is, or that is advised to do, is stabilize your energy. Okay, so that's a really good thing to do, is to return to neutral before you sort of try to get out there and do all these different things. There has to be sort of a resetting of energy. If you're in a bad frame of mind, we don't want to pull anything in on that sort of frequency. You want to return to neutral. You want to work on stabilizing the energy. Like Andrea said, she lit some candles, she smudged, she did those things. And then you want to kind of go inside and stabilize the energy, because it's sort of like water. Water will go to wherever the equalization is, right? Water always seeks its own level. Okay, so like energy attracts like energy. And if you're in a bad state of mind, a negative state of mind, let's say you stubbed your toe, you spilled your coffee, or worse yet, you maybe had an argument with somebody, something negative happened, whatever, and you're kind of in a funky mode, or a bad mood, or, kind of feeling, that's not the space to manifest from. You want to kind of be more neutral. You kind of want to be beige, like in the middle, okay? Stabilized, feel happy. And then what I always say is, let's say you're working on manifesting money, right? You want to go into, wouldn't that be nice? It's almost like having a daydream. It's like, wouldn't that be nice? Oh, what would that be like? Have money, have some extra money. Maybe you're trying to manifest $10,000, okay? Oh, wouldn't that be nice? Then when you do go into the energy of it, you want to put yourself into that kind of almost like an end result, the destination. Gandhi said you want to be the change that you wish to see in the world. You got to act as if. Now, this isn't about going out. Let's say you want $10,000. And this isn't to say you're going to go out and blow a bunch of money, put money on your credit cards, wasting, like, I already have $10,000, so I'm blowing it. That's not what the deal is. You want to treat it like a physical, like you're already having that feeling, like as if it's there. The $10,000 is here. I'm not worried. Because when you have $10,000, maybe you're less stressed. Maybe you're more happy. This fly, I'm going to manifest it to go away. So in other words, you want the desire. You want to kind of be in a good mood or even a neutral mood. Then you pull in the desire. Okay, you have the desire. Okay, what's the thing? Ooh, $10,000. Oh, how would I feel having $10,000? Ooh, that would be so nice, and I could pay a bill, I could go shopping, I could just have it in the bank, making more money. I could put it in my account, which is high yield interest, and it's just that money's bringing more money, and the money's attracting the money, and the money loves to play with itself, so then there's even more money. Okay, go into the feeling, and then wouldn't that be nice, right? And then you kind of just let it go. Kate said, I forget about it 2 minutes later. You don't have to sit there and belabor it and try and belabor it and try. It's not that type of thing. In fact, the trying, let's say you need the money because any second your electric bill is getting shut off, or worse, you really need this money because it's something that's really urgent and important. If you kind of release it from that sort of vantage point, it's stressful, it's anxious, it's tortured, it's, the money will come. It can still come, but it'll be in a torturous kind of way. Maybe it would be like 25% interest, or, balloon payment, or some kind of a thing, where it's like, it has to be paid back in 2 weeks, urgent, kind of thing, loan shark, whatever thing it is. It comes back in a yucky way. So whenever it's released in a yucky way, it comes back in a yucky way. So if it's an anxious release, you release that bubble, the little thought bubble, the little bubble of desire, okay? It comes back usually in the same vein. That's why I always tell people, if you really want to manifest something, do it from a space of neutrality. Do it from a space of being more even-keeled and more stabilized. Same thing for relationships. If you're doing it from a place of like, this never works out, I always meet losers, there's nobody in the world, cancel clear, all that type of stuff, it comes back to us in a sort of tortured way, a way that's not easy schmeezy, and it's just like, all that. Yes, Devin said overthinking stalls the process. Exactly. You guys have known that, I've manifested some crazy stuff, like stuff that should never, like, quote unquote, the likelihood of manifesting it was very highly unlikely. I've manifested multiple cars this way now. I've manifested apartments. I've manifested my house. I've manifested all of my dogs. So it's one of those things that when you want to have something, if there's anybody, by the way, that's stuck, if you guys want to, kind of ask a question, or if you guys, in reference, I'm talking specifically tonight about manifestation and law of attraction. If you guys have any law of attraction, Kate Christensen on Instagram said you believe in it but have trouble achieving. Would love to learn more about it. So hopefully that's giving you some pointers and some helpful tips. Savannah said it's so hard to be positive at times, though. That is true. Andrea said, yes, you have. Yes, I have. She knows. Devin said, because your mind is like a car with tires that are running in place. Interesting. Somebody said something about... my money is making love and making lots of babies. I love that, Wendy. Liza said, want to manifest the next house. Yeah. So I'll tell you how I manifested my house. So I basically just sat down and wrote it down. Like I went into that playful, daydreaming place. And by the way, Savannah, you don't have to like maintain this level of positivity, though I'll tell you it definitely does not hurt. But wouldn't it be nice? So I was living in New Jersey at the time, and it was my dream, my heart's desire to live in Vermont. And for years and years and years and years and years, I wanted to live in Vermont. And so I kind of went into this, I got close and I was like, this is what I want. And I basically sat down with a list and I said, I want a 2-bedroom, and I want a dishwasher, and I want a washer and dryer, and I want like all these things. Literally, I wrote it down on a piece of paper. These are my must-haves. If I'm going to move, these are my must-haves, because I was in a very secure place where I was living at the time. And I just wouldn't it be nice? Oh, this would be so nice to have this and this and this and this, just in a fun way. And that's the perfect conditions for manifesting. It's fun, it's dreamy, it's imagination. Oh, wouldn't this be nice? And this was I did this way before law of attraction. There wasn't even Esther Hicks talking about this and all that kind of stuff back then. So basically what I did was I manifested it. I wrote it down on a list. I had bullet points. It was really a short list. It wasn't even my new moon manifestation list. It was just a list. And I went, I want a 2-bedroom. I want a place to walk my dogs. I live next to an international walking path. Okay. I wanted to be on the lake and the whole 9 yards. I went on not long after. I think it was only a couple weeks. Boom. Found it, manifested it. I basically it came right in. It was easy schmoozy. It was just, there was no resistance to it whatsoever. And that's how I manifested it. There was no resistance to it whatsoever. And that was how I got my house. So it doesn't have to be torturous. It doesn't have to be. So it's one of those things that I think that, sometimes we overthink it. It's actually like a daydream. It's imagination. It's beautiful. It's fun. It's like, oh, wouldn't this be fun to do? And that's how you do it. So you have to be the change that you wish to see, and whatever it is you wish to create in your life, you have to be that thing. It happens in the negative too. We manifest from that place as well. Let's say again, you have maybe some bad news, and maybe then you, like I said, stubbed your toe, and maybe all these things went wrong, and then all of a sudden somebody starts kind of picking on you, and somebody else starts criticizing you, and something else happens, and something else, it's like, and it feeds on itself. That's manifesting in sort of a negative way. So returning to neutral is extremely important. When those times happen to me, because I'm a human being, those times definitely happen to me, I kind of go on lockdown. I really go on lockdown. I'm very careful about who I bring into my energy. If it's not light, if it's not fun, I basically just go onto a lockdown mode where I go to neutral. I return to neutral. I start praying. I start doing chanting. I start doing like things that return me to my happy place. I go for walks and get outside in nature. And I go into, because it's one of those things that when we go out, we get exhausted and we get tired, and it's like, well, what do you mean I can't, I'm having a hard time and I can't even do this or this. And it's like, it's going to be hard to bring, like, the frequency is too different. The frequency is way too different. You're the one person, if you're trying, let's say you're really down in the dumps and you got this Susie Sunshine up here that comes along, that frequency, you guys are not going to be on the same page, and it's a way too big of a jump. So I hope that you kind of understand. So like energy, there's even language around this in our language. Misery loves company. That's a form of manifesting. Like, again, like energy attracting like energy, right? But if you're happy and you're feeling good, you want to kind of pull in people that are up in here. I always ask people the question, if you, let's say, had a bad relationship, I always tell people, think back to the time when you met that person. What was your energy like? What was your frequency like in that moment? Frequency meaning mood. What were you thinking about at the time? I can tell you some of the most trying, uncomfortable circumstances that I've had with pulling in and manifesting people where I was in a very bad place when they came into my life. I was depressed, I was not feeling well, and then boop, you get somebody. So I always say, be careful if you're going out. Let's say you just got dumped and you just had a breakup or whatever, and then one of your friends says, let's go out and let's meet people and whatever. Careful. And you're feeling really low and your frequency's down in the dumps, because all of a sudden, yes, you can meet somebody, but you're going to meet them in that layer or in that level of attraction. And then all of a sudden, at first you're going to be like, oh yeah, I met the person in my dreams. And then you find out, oh my God, they're a narcissist and they are a user and their energy is really low. But that's not your normal energy. That's just because you had an uncomfortable circumstance that pulled you down. Your energy is going to pop up, because let's say your normal energy is up here, but this person's energy is always here. So you pulled them in on that when you were down here. When you pop up, all of a sudden it's going to be like, well, come on, keep up with me. And the other person's going to not be able to do that. So you want to be able to really focus on how your energy is around different scenarios. Like, let's say you're interviewing for a job, wanting to manifest a new relationship, wanting to manifest money. So what's your deal with money? I mean, how do you feel about money? Oh, I can't tell you how many times in private sessions I get people that call me up and they go, I really want to manifest money and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, how do you feel about money? And they're like, I hate it. Wish we didn't have to have it. Money sucks, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you're not going to be able. I had a client one time that basically had a belief that all people who, this person said to me, all people that have money are jerks. He used a different word, I'll just say that, but he's a-holes, and he said, these people are jerks. That, I said, well, do you think your subconscious mind is going to allow you to be a jerk? You have a problem. You're not going to ever be able to have money if you think that all rich people are jerks. Your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind is never going to allow you to be rich, because your subconscious mind doesn't want you to be a jerk, if that's what you believe. So you have to kind of take a look in. What are your beliefs about things? What's the deepest kind of core root as far as an unconscious or a subconscious belief? What's kind of going on in there? If you believe that all relationships are going to be hard, or if it's whatever, you got to work on kind of pulling those beliefs apart and working on your mindset with that. That's where mindset work, it really comes in handy, because you want to be able to get the things. Everybody can get whatever they want. Whatever you guys want to manifest, you guys can get. It's just a matter of, do you deserve it, or do you feel worthy of it, or do you believe that that's possible, or whatever the thing is. But whatever you want to do, You can do it. You can do this. You can have the relationship of your dreams. You can have the house that you want. You can have the business that you want. You deserve everything. You deserve to get exactly what you want. So getting into doing this mindset work and getting into doing law of attraction work, you can't, if you're having problems manifesting something, usually there's an unconscious or a subconscious belief that's underneath all of it that's kind of blocking you a little bit. So you want to do some cleanup work on the belief system that you're maybe having in reference to whatever thing it is. Kristen said I tend to be an overthinker. Yeah, a lot of us do. We think and think. So that's another that could be another whole video, but I always do talk about how you want to make sure when you talk about being an overthinker, you want to make sure you're not dictating how the manifestation is coming to you. Because I can tell you, most of my manifestations have not come in the way that I thought they were going to come. They almost never did. I do tell the story about, I have a friend that I was looking online. It was when AirPods came out, and I was looking online, and I was like, ooh, those are nice. Wouldn't that be nice? Just sent it out. Wouldn't that be nice? I saved it in my shopping cart. It was a little more money than I had wanted to spend at that moment, but I just saved it in my shopping cart, and I'll come back to you. I want to get me some AirPods for my headset, because it was, I think they were like $160 or whatever at the time. 4 days later, there's a little package in the mail, and I'm like, what's this? I didn't order anything. And I opened it up. It was AirPods. All of a sudden, one of my friends said, I was thinking of you. I don't know why, but I was guided to buy these for you. I was thinking how much it would be nice to help you in your sessions, and poof, there they were. So my desire, I didn't think I really literally was shocked, because I didn't even talk to this person about AirPods or anything. It's just that literally this is how the universe works. Whatever the most quickest, fastest available option is that's right there, it's going to come right into you very quickly. 4 days it took those AirPods to get to my house, and they were engraved with my name on it, which was kind of fun too. So let's see, you guys have some really fun questions here, I can see. Yeah, Wendy said there's an overabundance in the world. We all deserve to be comfortable and safe, and this too shall be yours. Perfect, Wendy. Wendy, it's not even that there's overabundance. There's just so much. There's so much money. There's so much food. Everybody can have that. Yeah, manifest that for sure, for sure. There's just a printer that makes it. I mean, it's not even really printed anymore. It's like a weird digital number that's in your computer. So play with that. Play with that energy. See, that's fun to play with those energies. Lindsay, can you manifest your partner to rid themselves of anxiety and panic if it's really weighing you down from a higher energy level? So this is interesting. That's an interesting, I love that question. Can you, can you change or influence how people act around you? Hell yes. It starts with you. You have to be the change you wish to see in the world. So what anxieties do you have, my friend? Right? Your anxiety might not be the same level as the other person's anxiety, but the way to do it is you have to be the change that you wish to see. Okay? Again. All right, so let me back up. So a lot of times in my Reiki classes, I teach this when I'm talking about healing and I'm talking about working on the physical body. I always say, when you're doing Reiki, you want to be health. Like you want to not, it's like the opposite of how we think about health in America. I'm going to attack the problem. I'm going to focus on the one little tiny portion of the body that's out of alignment. And I'm going to, no, you just want to be health. You want to be the health. Okay, you want the whole thing to just be like a non-problem. So when you're talking about working with your energy. I mean, I have clients that have entire families they've shifted this way. Husbands, children, even pets started to behave differently when their energy shifts. But you have to be the energy. It's like whatever, one person's the mirror and one person's the reflection and vice versa. So you're either going into that person's mirror and becoming their reflection, or they're going to become into yours. So being that and being calm, being stable. I am stable. I am calm. I have this in my life. My family's calm. My family's stable. Done. As if it's done already. And that's how you shift. You start to shift. People around you will act differently, or I do say this, they'll leave. So if somebody can't hang in that energy, let's say somebody, maybe it's too uncomfortable, right? They will leave. They will not be able to hang in the energy, and then they'll leave. So I always say, going back to Susie Sunshine versus being like down in the dumps, that sometimes is a very uncomfortable dynamic. But I always say, if somebody loves you, if somebody really loves you, they will start to raise up. I do get people that ask me that, can I change somebody around me? Of course you can. They have free will, free choice as well. But did you ever have somebody, let's say, somebody comes to your house and your dog, let's say, barks at every single person except for that person, or your child is always like kind of naughty and does certain things except for around this other person? That's because it's something in their energy is different. Yes, it can change dynamics of complete households. It can change dynamics of coworkers. It can change dynamics, all that. But you have to be the change that you wish to see in the world, which is a little harder because you got to anchor yourself in that, like anchor it, strong anchor, and that takes some consciousness. That takes not having reactivity, and it's a little hard when you're a light worker or if you're an empath and you're somebody that's affected by other people's moods and emotions. But remember, there was a point of attraction between the two of you, and we have to look at that. There was some point of attraction between you and your spouse, okay? And for whatever reason, it came in on, it's not like, oh, I'm the only sane one and everybody else around me is completely insane. There's some, come on, namaste. I always say namaste, right? The crazy in me sees and honors the crazy in you. I mean, there's a little thing about that. So even if it's an exaggerated version of whatever it is, and that's maybe a little bit in you, you guys hooked into each other for some energetic reason. So, and couples can grow and couples can evolve and couples can do things, but we do want to think about that. If we're kind of attracting, remember, all those same people and saying, well, you can shift that. You can totally shift it. Funny. Oh, Wendy, that's an awesome one. Dog whisper. Yeah. You were just going to bring up the dog whisper. Be calm, confident in the energy around you that you want to bring into the room. Yeah, the dog whisper is Cesar Millan is a wonderful example of that, where he does that. And I've had to do that. And I actually, Wendy, I'm glad you brought that up. I've had to do that because I've worked with animals for 14 years. So I had to learn how to do this again before Esther Hicks and before Law of Attraction, before all that, because if I went into a room with a 150-pound growling, barking Rottweiler and my energy was all like, wah, I'm gonna get mauled that day. Like, that was gonna be the day that I got bit or I got some kind of a problem with the animals, because animals are primal. So they react to us on a primal level. So if they sense any little bit of instability within you, you're done. So So as an animal person, I've had to do that with myself and really learn how to stabilize my energy. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, and again, I'm human, and I have days, bad days and good days, and I have times when for sure that I'm wonky and whatever. But mostly I'm pretty in the middle, you know. I mean, I can really ground my energy. So yeah, Caesar Milan, Dog Whisperer, is a really good example of that. So if you're working with this manifestation stuff, it's not that you don't look. We're not perfect. You can have times where you're feeling a little off. It's just you got to pull yourself back into center and be that center and that grounding. Okay. So I hope that helps everybody. I kind of went on a long tangent tonight. I wasn't doing intuitive questions tonight. I wanted to do law of attraction questions because I feel this is really important. It makes me, I don't know how to say it. It makes me kind of sad when I see people that don't realize they have their own internal power in a good way. That we have our own internal power, that we're able to shift things in life. So when people come to me for readings, you know, and it's like, well, is this going to happen? Is this the thing, Gretchen? Is this like, no, it's not set in stone. I always tell people, cards are just telling me if your energy continues in the way that it's going, this is going to happen, period. Right? I had a client one time whose son was very out of control, really out of control, drinking. And I said, I see a vision of him being in a car accident in October. I always talk about this story. And they sat him down and they said, you know, we went to see this psychic, and this is what she said in October, if you don't change the drinking. October came and went, and he went, ha ha, didn't happen, and kept drinking in a major way. 4 years later, in October, he wrapped his car around a tree, him and another person. The police officer that responded to the call said they had never seen an accident so severe, and the car that was so damaged that, I know people are commenting on the fly. It's like crazy. I don't know what this fly is doing. But the car was so severe and so damaged that they had never seen two people walk away alive. Now, that person could have changed that energy. That accident didn't have to happen. And I've told people stuff like that. I'm like, this doesn't have to happen. You can shift and change your energy. You're in charge of your own deal. You know, when we talk about free will, free choice, I really want people to know that you have a empowerment here. Like when I do cards for people and I say, well, I see this or I see this. I see you getting a job. I see you not getting a job. I see you getting a new partner. I see you getting whatever. You have your own free will, free choice about that. So it doesn't mean that you have to necessarily like, this is set in stone, this is destiny, this is whatever. Are there certain things that are destiny? I do believe that we have a higher soul's, let's say like in this lifetime, I'm going to work on self-confidence. I think our soul kind of picks those lessons for sure. I feel that. I've seen that in readings, and our astrology chart kind of tells us themes that we have in our lifetime. Oh, you got a lifetime full of lessons around boundaries, you know? Yeah. But can you change that? Yeah. And you can change it very quickly and easily. That's where law of attraction comes in and manifestation comes in. That it's one of those things that I feel that you can for sure shift things and for sure change things, because you just have to change your vibration around them, your thoughts around them, your actions around them, your beliefs around them, and you can totally shift. You're not predestined to get into this rut and then stay there. Okay, so when we talk about changing your life and changing, you know, how you think of things, and you don't have to have negative relationship patterns or money patterns or any of these types of things. You're not predestined that you have to stick with that your whole life. You can quickly shift it and quickly change your perspective and quickly, okay, shift things. So that's where I talk about free will, free choice. I mean, when people come to me, I always tell them that. I say, yes, this is showing up as a possibility here for sure, but it doesn't have to be. You don't have to. I think you can totally shift this. Now, if you're like 1 second away from disaster, I mean, you might have gone too far with that thing. I mean, that thing might be harder to shift that. I always say it takes a battleship, a big, huge, all steel battleship, 35 miles to change direction. Okay, so sometimes certain life changes can be a little longer than others, but it doesn't mean it's a no. It just means it takes 35 miles to change that around. I mean, that can be a thing. So I just want you all to know that, and to know that you're in charge of your own life, your own destiny, and your own energy. And when you shift those things, you can for sure shift into a different plane. Let's say in astrology you're in a marriage cycle. Well, that could be a cycle of things being hard in your marriage, things being whatever, or you could actually shift it and have like a reunion of your marriage, or a marriage like up leveling of a marriage or a partnership. It doesn't have to be negative. So I hope that helps and gives you guys some perspective on what I like to work on with people and get energy to shift around. I think that would be fun. Okay, so I'm going to pull one card for everybody. We have the second chance new moon on Sunday. So if you missed the Lion's Portal and you want to be able to go ahead and manifest, that's another second time in the month where it's a great manifestation day, is the second chance new moon, and that's going to be on Sunday the 15th in Scorpio, 23 degrees Scorpio. Height of it is 11:20 a.m. So you want to be able to go ahead and write out, even if it's not a new moon manifestation list, it's maybe something that you can write out. So I'm going to pull one card, a collective card for our week. What is our week going to be like? Collective energy. What do we need to know in order to shift, to change, to grow, to blossom, to become our highest and truest best selves? What's the best thing? Okay. We're getting the card this week of media. Okay. There might be a lot of people out there right now working on social media, starting a YouTube channel, starting TikTok. It means you can reach more people by working with video, audio, print, or online media. By the way, this card has a direct correlation with Mercury. And remember what I said about Mercury this week? Mercury is going to be very activated, and there's going to be a lot of opportunity here for talking, speaking, writing, orating, expressing ourselves, and whatever. It's just that we want to be more clear and concise, or, sometimes it's better to not say anything and just kind of like go, I'm gonna sit on that for a minute, okay, and not really, because that could be crazy. So I hope that helps everybody this week. I wanted to just go over. I know it's a little longer tonight, but I just wanted to go. I was really jazzed up about manifestation because that's been a real good thing. So I hope that everything helps tonight. If you guys want a personalized astrological reading or doing any kind of coaching with me, feel free to go ahead and send me a text message. That's the preferred way. And I will speak with you guys next week, same time, same place. And if you haven't had a chance already, make sure that you like my YouTube channel, Gretchen Hidell. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night. Namaste.